Welcome to this yoga class or an end of day practice for tension release, stress release, a nice stretch off, and let's just see how our body feels, getting you ready for sleeping tonight. I've had a really stressful day with my 4-year-old, very high maintenance today she was, so I need this just as much as you watching it. I hope you enjoy. So we're going to start in Shavasana, so making your way over to a lying down position. So this is traditional Shavasana, palms face the ceiling, but if that feels quite harsh on your back and you feel more comfortable in semi-supine, feel free because you're able to flatten your back more. So deep breaths, I just want you to observe your breath. Inhale through the nose. As you inhale, your belly rises. Pause and a slow exhale. Feel free to close your eyes. I want you to really slow that breathing on the exhale. Using the diaphragm and chest and ribs to rise on the inhale, making a conscious effort. Another one like that. Good. I'm going to bring one of our knees into our chest or as high up as feels comfortable, and we're going to rock our knee left and right. We're just mobilizing, we're not going too far out. And let's flex and extend our ankle and go into ankle circles and grab hold of the back of your leg around where your hamstring is and straighten it a little bit more, but not a complete straight. We're not stretching, we're just mobilizing. Change direction. Good. Inhale, arms rise, returning the leg, and exhale, we're going to hold on to the other leg. Forwards and backwards motion with the ankle and the foot. Deep breaths. Grabbing underneath the hamstring, circular motion with the ankle, change direction. Good. Inhale, arms rise, returning the knee. And exhale, we're going to bring both knees into chest or belly button. And you can bring in a hug and roll side to side, moving with the shoulders if that feels good. We can bring our knees apart if that feels safe and nice for you, or you can stay in a hug and roll position. And back to the center and back out. Back to the center. Good. Rolling onto your side, making your way up into seated position. Any seated position, feel free to grab a block to sit on if that's more comfortable. I'm going to sit in the lotus position. The other alternative is to have your knees together like so. I want you to untuck the pelvis, which means instead of sitting like that, sitting tall, untucking the pelvis. You've got that curve in your lower back, okay? So it's quite hard sitting like that until you get used to it. It does become easier, I promise. So deep breath. Slowly exhale out. One more. Good. I'm going to take our right arm to the side, keeping a little bend in it, and our left arm rises on an inhale And exhale, and stretch ever so slightly over to the right. Inhale to lengthen. I want to go over to the other side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, a small stretch, moving your rib cage away from your hip. Inhale to lengthen, and do that once more. Bending a little bit more to get further in. Again, over to the side. Let's get some breaths in. Good. I'm going to take our left arm over our right leg, and our right arm comes round the back, leading with the chest first and the neck last. You'll feel a nice twist, opening up the heart center. Inhale, back to lengthen. I'm going to go over to the other side, so right arm over left leg. Exhale as you twist, not forcing anything, neck comes last. And then you begin looking over that back shoulder. Inhale to lengthen. And do that again. And if you feel that you want to, you can go a little bit further this time and use your arm for purchase on your knee. Exhale as you twist. Another deep breath in. Holding that position and exhale. Good. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Another deep breath in, holding the position. Good. Inhale to lengthen. And on the next exhale, we're going to crawl or walk our hands as far forward as we can. So leading with our belly onto the ankle first. So we're not forcing the neck down or anything like that. Inhale to lengthen. I want to go around the back and do a counter pose next. So palms faced outwards, opening up the chest. Deep breath in, exhale. Again, we want to do that again, go a little bit further if that feels good. Exhale as you walk out. Good, maybe you can get your elbows on the floor. Inhale, lengthening the spine. I'm going to come round the back. And if it feels good on your next exhale, lift, squeeze your bum cheeks together and lift the pelvis. You feel your lower back engage as well. Make sure you're not dropping your neck at all. You want tension in your neck. Don't want any whiplash or anything like that. Deep breath in. Exhale, back. Returning back. Good. Okay. Feel free to grab a drink as we move over to the all four-point kneeling position for some cat-cow. Please make sure you stay hydrated. Think of beef jerky, that's what our muscles do as they dry out. It's not very productive if you want to use them as we are now. So untucking the toes, we're going to go into an angry cat position, forwards and backwards, rocking slowly, seeing how our spine feels just now. So palms directly under the shoulders, but a little bit further forward so you're not compressing any nerves for carpal tunnel. Inhale as you go into a cow. Exhale, cat. Rock forwards and backwards. I like to spend a little bit of time in this, especially if you've been pregnant, because likelihood is you've carried a pelvic tilt, so you don't do much of this. This is the opposite of a pelvic tilt. Inhale, and the cow position is the pelvic tilt that we can carry a lot of us, even if we haven't been pregnant, to be honest. Exhale again. And inhale in a cow, feeling the tension and the stretch. One more. Back into cow, and then we're going to come into a child's pose, knees together, extending, keeping strength in the shoulders and arms. I'm going to circle off those wrists. Beautiful. Change direction, just lubricating and warming everything up. Coming back into cow. Now the option is to go back into child's pose, what we just did, or on your next exhale you can go into extended child's pose, which is a good bend in the knee, hips back. So tuck the toes under, bending at the knee, whoop, and bringing our hips further up, relaxing our neck between the shoulder blades. Inhale, back into cow. And if that felt all right, again, you don't have to progress it. We're going to go into downward dog next. Exhale, downward dog. So don't worry about getting your heels on the floor. You can paddle them out if that's a nice stretch and that feels good. Relax the neck. Good. And just looking at your toes. Good. Back into cow. Inhale, and then an exhale, again downward dog, paddling those feet out. Relax the neck, decompressing the spine. Back into cow, and then into child's pose. Good. I want you to over-exaggerate all your breath throughout this class. Next, inhale, back into the cow position. We're going to do a nice stretch off. Now we've mobilised. A good bend in this elbow as we thread the needle. The other arm is going to extend overhead, and make sure you're not collapsing your chest into floor. You're still looking that way. You can use this arm as purchase on the floor to keep you upright if that feels good. You're not forcing anything though, just assisting. So deep breath, and if that feels okay, you can stay here, or you can tuck that arm in your back pocket. Again, being mindful, not letting your chest come into the floor. So deep breath, just going to hold this for 4 breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Every inhale, your belly pushes out and pushes you out of the stretch slightly. And then the exhale, you just relax further into it. Good. Take your time on tucking that arm, bringing it back to where it was. I want to swap over and do the other side. Now, just because you could go that deep on one side, might not be the case for the other. So let's see how we get on. So threading that needle, extending the arm overhead, checking in and seeing how that feels first. Deep breaths. And tuck that arm in your back pocket, making sure your shoulders and your chest isn't falling into the ground. Feeling a nice gentle twist, maybe around the hip area, thoracic, opening the chest and the heart. Another 2 deep breaths, sinking in with every exhale a little bit further. Good. The next inhale and tuck that arm back into 4-point kneeling. I want to do some cat-cow again and just remobilize, seeing how that feels. Another 2. Good. Next, we're going to come into a wide child's pose. So as wide as you feel that you're comfortable with. We're looking for a stretch, a mild discomfort in the inner groin, and we'll come down as close to the mat as you can. So at first, it might feel quite uncomfortable. Remember, it's not painful. It's just a mild discomfort. I'm just going to hold that and sit with it. So let's use our breaths again. And eventually, you'll feel that mild discomfort go down a little bit and give. That's when we move in a little bit more to the stretch. And this is how we build flexibility and we loosen off. It takes time and patience. When you feel like it's given a little bit and you're able to, you can come further down. So you can use a block and put your forehead on the block to relax your back. And use your breath. It's all about switching any muscles that have tensed up to protect you from the position. And if that feels okay, you can go a little bit further down, forehead to the mat. You can even widen the position you're in with the knees. Five more deep breaths. Four. Three. Two. Last one. Excellent. Carefully, taking your time, coming up, and on our backs, we are going to make our way over now. So this is one of my favourites, you know, since pregnancy. You don't get to do a lot of bending over to the sides or twisting, so you can get quite tight. Pelvic girdle pain is really common. It's classed as any pain or discomfort around the pelvic girdle during or after pregnancy is classed as pelvic girdle pain. So this next one is really good for stretching off. So we're going to lie in Shavasana, and you're going to bring your both legs to the outer side of your mat and just relax. Whichever way you want to start first, you can bring your right leg over to your left leg and cross it over, but you want to keep your pelvis faced exactly where it was in Shavasana. And you'll feel a gentle stretch on the leg that you've just crossed over. So you can stay here. And again, it's about relaxing those glutes and the tension around. The body can tense up. That might be enough for you. Or you can increase the stretch further by bringing your arms over your head and holding on to the arm that's on the crossed leg side. And you can bring it overhead like so. And you can shimmy over, again, keeping your pelvis exactly where it was. You can shimmy over, keeping your both shoulder blades on the mat. And you can shimmy over to the side of the leg that's not moved, if that makes sense. And you're just gonna relax into the stretch. And you'll feel that gentle stretch just above the hip. Again, that mild discomfort, but we're trying to relax all those muscles in the back. With every exhale, switching another one off. It might be part of a muscle. There's thousands and thousands of muscle fibers we're trying to switch off. Every inhale, pushing the belly out will increase the stretch. And then the exhale releases you a little bit further into the stretch. Another 4 deep breaths like that. So this pose is called something like Basanasana, something like that, Basanasana. Two more deep breaths. Beautiful. Good. Okay, first unhooking the arms, lying them in Shavasana, coming back over to center with the upper body and uncross that leg. Coming out as far out as feels comfortable on the mat with the other leg, and we're going to cross over and do the other side. And you can notice and compare how these sides feel. So my pelvis stays square, facing the ceiling, it's not moving over at all, okay? And then with our shoulder blades still on the mat, we're going to shimmy them over ever so slightly, and then we're going to grab hold of that arm with our wrist, and we're just going to relax. Again, allowing this stretch just above this side now of the hip. Notice where it feels tense and try and switch it off and relax. Sink into the mat like a dead weight, just like you're asleep. 5 more deep breaths. Belly pushes out on the inhale and falls on the exhale. Try and get all that oxygen in using the diaphragm. Good. How does this side feel in comparison? Good. Carefully unhook the arms. Move back into Shavasana, unhooking the legs as well. Just going to rest here for a minute. So remember, all of those poses you can hold for a lot longer, but this is a beginner's relaxation class. It's just to de-stress from the day and try and release some tension in the body that's been held. Just observe your breath. And make sure you're not just belly breathing or just chest breathing. Using both. When you inhale, the belly rises, and then the ribs, and then the chest. And then on the exhale, the chest falls, then the ribs, and then the belly. So it's stage 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. During the day, we can belly breathe a lot, which sends more stress signals and stresses us out more. Today, for example, I'd be belly breathing. Felt like I couldn't catch a breath, a deep breath. It's a sign of stress. So we're going to practice those deep breaths. On the inhale, I'm going to count 4. I want you to pause with 2 with those full lungs, and then exhale for a count of 6. Just your own count that you feel comfortable with. On the exhale, relaxing further into the mat. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the nose. It's nice and warming. Good. On the next inhale, you're going to make your way back up into the seated position. You can move onto your side to help you use your hands to get up. To any seated position. Namaste. I hope you sleep tonight and I hope this class helped. Please let me know if it did. I'll see you in the next class.